Daily Horoscope, the 21st of December 2016. Daily Horoscope for Aries. Ruling planets: Mars, Pluto. Talking with others is the theme. You express yourself well now. The operative word here is talking. As the Moon and Mars interact, talk can quickly get out of hand into a debate and even all-out war. Be careful of how you maneuver your conversations under these transits. Transportation arrangements should also be of concern, and timetables can be thrown out of whack. You find it necessary to convey information to others but may find that crossed lines don't accommodate proper assimilation of the information you are offering. Communication and transportation, therefore, are issues at the moment. There are some difficult aspects today, and you should take caution when traveling or working with anything that could cause you injury. Perhaps worrying too much about some debt or financial problem means you're taking your eye off the ball. Daily Horoscope for Taurus. Ruling planets: Venus. Fortunately, you can now be feeling able to remove some of the clutter from your life. This can be anything from piles of paper on your desk and unpaid bills to an emotional clearing which brings to you a new sense of self-renewal. Others will notice your attitude now as refreshing and inspiring, and this can only enhance your chances for friendship and overall luck just now. Deep and mysterious feelings may be emerging now as a new transformative phase commences for you. Karmic planets in your 8th house, including the Sun and Uranus in your 12th house, indicate brilliant insights into your emotional nature. The flow-on from this was improved relationships. Horoscope for Gemini. Ruling planets: Mercury. You might feel overburdened with obligations and duties, which may especially affect health matters. Be watchful of imbalances caused by nervous tension and stress. If you are a parent, changes and adjustments may be necessary to the education, discipline, and rearing of your children. Your sensitivity to everything is heightened today, and you may even experience signals or insights and information that are not usually received this way. Spiritual and intuitive energies dominate you at this time. This is definitely a day where friendship and love come to the fore and offer you a lot of satisfaction, but trust your instincts. It's not a good day to speculate, and you should wait for more favorable planetary energies. Daily Horoscope for Cancer. Ruling planets: Moon. You may have holidays on your mind now, and it is most certainly the time to make plans and bookings as well. If you're lazy, you may miss the boat, so try to do tomorrow's tasks today and today's immediately so that you won't be disappointed in this respect. You may receive some confusing email or notice which requires investigation on your part. Don't jump to conclusions before you find out the whole story. Work and relationships are playing on your mind today and will do so over the next couple of weeks, and you're wondering which way to turn. Withdrawing from work for a while will help in clearing your mind and coming to a conclusive decision. Your professional life could be in danger if you dig in your heels and don't choose to play with the other kids in the playground on their terms. Try to be more flexible. Daily Horoscope for Leo. Ruling planets: Sun. Work matters could be serious now, and it's your job to approach these questions with a more light-hearted approach. This doesn't mean you're not being responsible, it just means there are more ways than one of looking at a problem. This means standing outside of your normal perspective and using your thinking in a lateral way. Dealing with employers could be part of this problem, and so you need to be diplomatic, being one step ahead of them. Your imagination may be wild today and may have nothing to do with the reality of the situation. Distracted by seemingly unrelated issues, and perhaps unconsciously because you're avoiding the problem. You need to plant your feet firmly on the ground. You also need to renegotiate the terms of an agreement or situation, but may be fearful that it's an all-or-nothing situation. You realize that this is all in your imagination. don't you? Daily horoscope for Virgo. Ruling planets, Mercury. Your idealism is very strong today and can work for you positively. If you've been a little more focused on what needs changing in your friends and lovers, today may see a turnaround where the beauty and goodness of those you love seemed more pronounced. This is a day of feeling gratitude for the good connections in your life. These positive signals will help overcome many differences you may experience today. Your desire for a fresh new lifestyle is out of sync with what you can afford at present. This is making the gap between what you have and what you don't have seems even bigger than you thought. This, in turn, creates more dissatisfaction. Whatever happened to slow and steady wins the race. It's better to perfect your skills, enjoy what you do and present your expertise to the world in a way that warrants an additional fee or charge for what you do. This may also mean re-educating yourself, even if only with short courses that can extend your understanding of things. Daily horoscope for Libra. Ruling planets, Venus. You have an increased interest in travel, foreign cultures, philosophy and self-improvement during this transit. In fact, you may aggressively pursue some new form of study, but do look at the motivation which could be at the core of this. If you're simply competing with someone else or doing this to grab some attention, your motives will be flawed. On the other hand, if you have a genuine desire to learn and improve yourself, this could be a spiritual awakening that can have long-term positive consequences for you. Your communications are somewhat emotional, not so precise, but definitely full of feeling. You could find yourself as part of some unholy alliance, if only for the time being, to satisfy the needs of those involved. You don't need to feel particularly connected emotionally or spiritually to those you are either working with or socially connected to, and this is simply a temporary phase which may, believe it or not, reveal interesting lessons. You have a job to do, and the characters that are part of this particular scene in your life shouldn't be accepted or rejected. Just play your part, and live and let live. Daily horoscope for Scorpio. Ruling planets, Pluto, Mars. It's not really the appropriate time to go on a trip or expedition, and your intuition tells you this. Rather, you should wait for the appropriate signals within yourself, and of course be certain that you have the money and other resources to cover something of this nature. You're thinking about ditching habit that could be causing you money. Good choice. Focus your energy and achieve something unique just now. The planetary influence is having an important bearing on your finances and long-term life strategies. They also now point to a murky episode in your family life which needs nothing less than crystal clarity to get the family dynamic back on track. On this note, get a plan working and stick to it. Introducing some light-hearted, flirtatious and imaginative energies to offset anything negative and will go a long way to improving the situation. Daily horoscope for Sagittarius. Ruling planets, Jupiter, Neptune. It's not really the appropriate time to go on a trip or expedition, and your intuition tells you this. Rather, you should wait for the appropriate signals within yourself, and of course be certain that you have the money and other resources to cover something of this nature. You're thinking about ditching habit that could be causing you money. Good choice. If you've been ailing, you will be on the road to recovery, or good news concerning a medical issue will come to you now. This could indicate a new age or herbal type treatment, and even if you're not usually open to alternatives, today may be the day. Many of these issues relate to the fact that you haven't drawn a line in the sand, not been able to distinguish between your working life and personal matters. In other words, you may have been burning the candle at both ends when in fact you need to schedule your life and compartmentalize those areas that shouldn't overlap. Daily horoscope for Capricorn. Ruling planets, Saturn, Uranus. Rely on your own intellectual brilliance now and stop asking for help. because trusting yourself now will yield the best results. You don't need others to give you a pat on the back to know within yourself just how good your work is. Perhaps it becomes a habit, or you've become a doormat. Whichever way you look at it, you're much better than you believe. All you're doing is making a beggar of yourself. Travel plans are on your mind today. You could be embarrassed into making a donation or show of goodwill, and this will be against your better judgment. In fact, to save face, or rather should I say keep your ego intact, you will act in a manner which is contrary to what your heart is telling you. It doesn't matter if you don't live up to the expectations or standards of someone else today. Live by your own standards. Daily horoscope for Aquarius. Ruling planets, Uranus, Saturn. Are things getting more expensive, or are you just consuming more at this point in your life? In the case of your car and petrol, for example, perhaps your foot is a bit heavier than normal and the $20 petrol ration is only going 3/4 as far. It means you have to take your foot off the accelerator. You can slow down in other areas in the same way and now save a few precious dollars too. If an old friend returns, you may be more interested in them relating stories of their exploits rather than any sound advice they have for you today. It's important to go beyond the superficial level of relationships to gain some understanding during this period. Working on your inner self and understanding some of your motives for why you do and what you do will also be time well spent. Understanding what makes you tick, you can improve your inner world and what you produce for your life on the outside. Daily horoscope for Pisces. Ruling planets, Neptune, Jupiter. If you are looking for a convenient lifestyle, that's fine, but you may be shortchanging yourself. You need to mix things up and create a sense of adventure now. If you're confused about a situation in your workplace at the moment, you need to go back over the original details and check the fine print for errors. Direct your energies carefully today, as you may be dispersed and end up not getting too much at all done. Perhaps you're dreaming a lot of faraway places and how you can finally achieve some of your long-term goals. It's not a bad idea to have a plan, and a written plan at that. To make your dreams a reality at this time, you need to definitely back on superfluous expenses. You may not realize it, but you have been living beyond your means. Nipping this in the bud early ensures additional funds at your disposal.